Tomorrow, a new mayor of Sacramento will be sworn into office, replacing outgoing Mayor Darrell Steinberg. He's certainly seen a lot leading the city for the past 8 years. I asked the mayor about some of the most memorable moments in a one-on-one conversation inside City Hall. Talk about perhaps your proudest moment and then also your biggest regret.
You can never prove a negative, but I think being mayor through a once-in-a-century pandemic where the economy shut down, the city shut down, the rightful racial reckoning, the death of Stephon Clark, the murder of George Floyd, and being able to lead with strength and keeping the city largely together, I think I would count that right up there. Secondly, what we've accomplished these last couple of weeks in Sacramento.
The mayor announcing blockbuster projects in the final months of his term. The Rail Yard Soccer Stadium, a waterfront investment plan, and a new music venue.
All of these investments, in addition to creating jobs and increase our tax base, going to create a lot of memories for generations of Sacramentans.
Well, you certainly have had some memorable moments in this chamber.
Yeah, you remember that famous picture?
I was going to ask you. You knew exactly where I was going. Take us to that moment right here behind you. What were you thinking?
My instinct was to lean in and lean in towards him, because ultimately what I saw was a grieving brother. Now, that was a one-time thing because you have to maintain the decorum in the chambers.
In March 2018, Sacramento police shot and killed Stephon Clark in his grandmother's backyard. They had been chasing Clark following reports of someone breaking into cars. Officers say they believed he was armed but found only a cell phone. The shooting led to massive demonstrations that even shut down the interstate downtown. Did you have anything you wanted to say to the Clark family and those in the community still seeking social justice, if you will?
We can be pro-law enforcement and at the same time demand that when somebody uses their position in ways that is not right and harms others, especially harms communities of color, that they be held accountable. Every serious incident of force is being investigated.
Who can forget year after year of massive brawls at the Arden Fair Mall during the holidays, and 2 teens being shot and killed at the mall back in November 2020. Year after year almost, you had these massive brawls. Do you think that enough is being done, or can more be done to really address some of the concerns around?
More can always be done. But I will tell you, we have put an emphasis on law enforcement as well. Violent crime is down in Sacramento. Right before COVID, where we had 2 years without a single youth homicide. I want to get back to that.
And then there's the homeless crisis. In 2022, the Sacramento County point-in-time count found the homeless population nearly doubled over 3 years to more than 9,000 people. That number surpassed San Francisco, and yet Steinberg says the city has made progress. I just wonder, especially with the insight that you have now, when you mentioned the homeless crisis, for example, I think a lot of people feel like a lot of money has gone into the issue, right? I think a lot of people feel that we certainly invested in trying to tackle the problem. What do you think is working and what's not working?
The city is not a mental health or substance abuse agency. It's not what we do. We're not a homeless service agency. When I started, we operated and funded less than 100 temporary beds a night. Now we're up to almost 1,500 beds a night. We formed a new city department, the Department of Community Response. We're out there in those streets with the county. The problem is still serious. And yet we had the single largest reduction in unsheltered homelessness in the entire state this last 2 years, 41%. So again, a foundation and progress, and I've done my best.
Before taking office, Mayor Steinberg led the state Senate before becoming President Pro Tem in late 2008. He admits becoming mayor took some getting used to.
I think I came in after my years in the legislature, maybe not fully appreciating some of the limitations of the role of mayor in this city. You're one vote among 9.
You don't have the strong mayor system.
You don't have a strong mayor. Full accountability with limited authority. I knew that going in, but I'm not sure I fully appreciated it. And again, no regrets. I think in this business, you have to be willing to take the heat and the criticism and also recognize where you can do better as well.
I also asked the mayor what grade he would give himself for his time as mayor, and he said an A-, saying he made his share of mistakes, but he hopes he brought a good spirit to the city of Sacramento. As for what's next, I asked if he would run for state attorney general, and he said if the opportunity presents itself, he would consider it.